Hello and welcome to the PvP guide for Priest Discipline 5.2 Mist of Pandaria. We're going to be talking about the rotation, the gear, the specs, the talents, the glyphs, and also the add-ons I use and some strategies that are pretty helpful. So I hope you enjoy it. Now for the first thing I want to talk about is going to be the rotation. I'm going to show you something real quick. If you cast a greater, I'm casting a greater heal myself. It's only healing me for 80k. That's not good enough. That's not what a priest is capable of. I usually don't recommend just casting without no buff. You definitely want to have at least a couple buff in you to increase your healing. Let me just open this guy here, and it should be right here. This is my alchemy buff. So I'm gonna show you the rotation. You wanna cast penance. It's gonna give you grace, 30% healing increase. You cast the shield, which is gonna give you 4 borrowed time, 50% haste. You're gonna cast the hot, and you're gonna cast the most important one, prayer of mending, which is gonna increase your healing by 50% if you have at least 4 pieces for the gear. That's going to be fantastic. Okay, so let's do the rotation again. Penance, shield, the hot, prayer of mending, and greater heal with the borrowed time. That hits for 147, which is way better than the 80k that we got before. Now I want to show you something else. I want to show you evangelism, which is a buff that's going to allow you to increase your healing even more. Every time you cast Holy Fire and a Smite, you're going to get a buff. There's the Holy Fire, which is instant, and you can cast Smite, which is not instant, but you can just spam it. It has no cooldown. So you go 5 stacks. Now you have Archangel. Archangel can be used even at 1 stack, but to maximize its use, you want to use it at 5 because it increases the healing by 25%. 25% at 5 stacks. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it right now. Right there. And I'm gonna do my rotation again. Penance, shield, hot, prayer of mending, and greater heal. And look at that, almost 200k, from 80k to 200k. That's what the praise is all about. You have to be able to do a sequence. You have to be able to get all your buffs, and that's when the praise can just bring you up. From that 200k, boom, you're halfway there, like half a life there, half a health bar, right there, from one healing, if you know what you're doing. And then the next, I do another rotation, and again, boom, another 200k. So that's the kind of those are the kind of buffs you need. Now let's talk about the gear a little bit. For the gear, you definitely want to have only 4 pieces: the gloves, the head, the shoulders, and the chest. For the pants, you want to use the Shadow Priest, the DPS pants, because they give you mastery, and they give you although they give you haste, you can always reforge into spirit. So that's what you want to do. For the trinkets, you want to use this little guy. This little guy is going to increase your health by 50% with the spirit. And let's say, for example, you're about to die. You use this guy, and it's gonna take you above that 20% range that most DPS with a finishing move have. For example, an execute. You have the warrior on top of you, and the guy is gonna proc. He's gonna start spamming executes, or a hunter with killing shot. You're not gonna survive an execute and a killing shot at the same time. You wanna be away from that 20% range, or you are most likely gonna die, unless your teammates heal you or you get a lot of pills. But other than that, you're most likely gonna die. So you want to stay away from that 20% range, and that's what this trinket is all about. For the next one, the other trinket, obviously if you're not a human, you want to use this guy with the spirit, which is pretty good. So you go with the staff with the spirit. Right now it's not half the cheap enchant. Probably within the next couple days I'm going to do the following. I'm going to get the newer, the newer weapon. And I'm going to change everything to resilience, either resilience or a, for example, in this case, all the yellow sockets, obviously resilience, and in this case, I'm gonna change this one, intellect, for either intellect and resilience, or just resilience, depending. For the gem, this one, the meta, I don't really like it. I don't think 2% maximum mana is that useful. What you can do is, I don't think anyone's playing with this one anymore. I think you can just the silencing, 10% less silence is more efficient, and I'm also in the process of changing my gems. Let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the plan. And yeah, everything you want to reforge everything into spirit, and then from spirit, if the piece has a spirit, everything into mastery. That's what you want to do, and those are the stats you want to reforge into. Now for the let's talk about a little bit about the talents. This one, the first line, I think is a personal preference. If I'm in Valorant Arena, usually just dominate mine and just MC the guy of the age. Siphon against a hunter and a warrior. I mean a hunter and a pally. That's what you want to do, because they're so vulnerable to fears. Even though they can Siphon only fears once. Like it used to be like as many fears as the thing had in it. Now it's only once. Void tendrils. This guy is especially useful against warriors and DKs. Yeah. The second line, I go with body and soul, because this guy here got nerfed as of 5.2, so I don't want to use that guy anymore. No longer they don't have to retarget you. You can just even if you use fate, you're still gonna be targeted. So I don't like that one. And this one, I don't think this one's was ever good for arenas or any PvP environment at all. Maybe RPGs, I don't know. But this one, no, it's not a good choice. Body and soul is my favorite one. Why? Because let's just take for instance, like and let's pretend this this dummy here is the healer, the enemy healer, and my teammates and the other two DPS, the enemy DPSs, are here fighting. This guy is free casting here, and I'm free casting right here. He could be behind a box, or he could be doing something else. He's free casting there, I'm free casting here. I go in the middle, I buff myself with the shield, I fear him, and I get back to my box, and I still have the 60% increase. And that guy is still feared, right there. The guy is probably not even gonna be able to see me coming, or it depends. It really depends on the player, definitely. But most healers, I fear a lot of guys with that little trick there. So yeah, that's one of the that's why I like body and soul. This one not anymore. So let's just go with the next one, Mind Bender. I think Mind Bender is fantastic if you have mana issues, which I think every place right now is having. What I do is, like say for example, I'm gonna spam heals on me right now. Just gonna spam and spam and spam and spam. A lot of heals, so I'm losing my mana real quick. So I'm gonna remain in I'm gonna be in combat now, because I'm usually in combat, obviously. And I'm gonna release my minion, and I'm gonna continue healing myself. Look at that! Look at how much mana this little guy is regenerating. Look at that, it's fantastic. It's just, I think, so good. Most all the way back to at least 30% of my mana I got back in probably 10 seconds or 12 seconds. I don't know exactly how much that bet lasts, but I think Mindbender is the best bet for the middle, the middle for this line here. This guy, I don't like it. It's a proc. It's a 50% chance, and it's probably gonna proc when you don't need it. Or that's the thing about a proc. It's never. I don't know. I just feel like it never procs me when I actually need it. So yeah, that's why I go with Mindbender. Okay, the next talent. I don't think anyone else in arenas is using something other than Spectral Guys. Spectral Guys is fantastic. What happens is that if, let's say, a mage is running here to poly, it's facing you to poly you, cast a polymorph on you. He's in the middle of the cast. Boom! You use Spectral Guys, and the guy is not gonna be able to finish the cast. And actually, he's gonna have to retarget you and retarget focus to use his whatever macro he has for focus target. So that's fantastic, and it's only on a 30-second cooldown. So you go, you do your thing. The guy is retargeting you. You cast a couple heals, and then there you go. It's almost out of cooldown again. So yeah, that's a pretty good one for any kind of, especially against any kind of CC classes, like the mage or the lock or any kind of class that can spam heals. I mean CCs. Let's go to the next line. This one is a personal preference between these two guys. I think I don't like Twist of Fate because you are it's way too low. You shouldn't wait till 20% for the health to be. Yeah, you shouldn't wait for your health to be that low. You're 20%. You're within that range. Where an execute can kill you, when a soul reaper can kill you, or a killing shot, or whatever other finishing moves are out there. That's exactly the mark, 20%. At least for most of the finishing moves. So you don't want to be there. You don't want to be in that range. You can stay ahead of that with power infusion. If I know the guy is dying, I pen suppression on him. I put pace suppression on the guy, and then I cast my power infusion macro with the inner focus, which at least is gonna guarantee me the first cast to be critical and to be at least I'm not gonna be silenced. So it's gonna keep the guy up at least for a while. Divine Insight again is a proc. It procs quite a bit, like quite often, but I don't know, I still don't like that. Uh, it's a pretty good proc though, but I don't know. I choose to go with the opponent fusion. Personal preference again. For the last line, Halo and Divine Star. Halo, I love this guy, how it looks like. The animation is pretty sweet, but for me it's Divine Star. Divine Star is a oh, I mean cooldown. Okay, I can't change it, but Divine Star for me is the best. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for the cooldown, 20 seconds. Yeah, no, Divine Star definitely. Unless you're playing with a warrior or a DK or a class that's not gonna be next to you all the time, that's gonna be chasing people, then you probably wanna go with Halo. But for the most part, uh, yeah, it's Divine Star for me. Actually, I'm gonna change it right now. That's it for the talents. That's the talent. My opinion on the talents. Next, we're gonna be talking about the glyphs. Look at the this guy here. I really like this one. It removes 2 seconds from the Weakened Soul debuff, which is I think it's pretty decent at glyph. Man spell deflection. Master spell. I'm sorry. It's super quick. I used to play with this guy here, but I don't think it's good anymore. I think the 20% of the absorption justifies live. I mean, if you're getting healed by 77k, that's less than 15k absorb healed. So yeah, that's not good enough. Anything below 20k, I don't think it's worth. Maybe a prayer of mending is a little bit better than that if you don't have to use massive spell. Other than that, just stick to it. And the other one is penance. Penance is a pretty decent. It's a pretty decent. Glyph is gonna allow you to cast while walking. Uh, Look at this guy. Now let's talk about penance. Penance glyph I think is super useful. It's one of the most useful glyphs in the game for the shadow for priest discipline. Um, can just cast. Let's say I'm getting CC'd a lot and the box is right here. So I can just start jumping or moving, running towards the box. And as I'm running towards the box, I am healing this guy who's been attacked or whatever. To minimize the CC and working towards running and healing at the same time. That's a pretty good idea for a priest. For a priest, because this never happened before. You used to have to cast the spell, and yeah, that gives you way less mobility, obviously. So that's why I like penance. So we're almost done here with the guide. I just want to talk about a couple more things. The add-ons, if you're a new healer or if you're just practicing, or I'm just gonna be talking about some of the add-ons that I personally use that give me so much situational awareness as of where the enemy is or where the or what's going on within the arena, because there's so much going on, there's so much information you need to be aware of. So the first thing I want to talk about is tidy plates. It's the add-on that's going to allow you to replace the nameplate, the lousy Warcraft nameplate, the default one, for this one, which in my opinion is way better, as you can target easily yeah, it's just easier to target, and you can just customize that add-on a lot. I just have the simple version, and I love it. I like it. It's helped me a lot. So the next one I want to talk about, which is a must for healers, is play buff. You have to have this add-on if you're just beginning to heal. It's gonna help you so much. Like, for example, I'm casting here, and you see there's the grace buff, the shield, the hot, and look at that. It even tells me how long until the I can cast another shield. How many minutes remaining, seconds remaining on the debuff there. So now the shield is the debuff is gone. I can cast another shield, which is fantastic. Not only that, but the pain suppression, for example, the larger cooldowns, like pain suppression. You can just
That spell isn't ready yet.
oh, this guy, I can't cast pain suppression on this guy, it's too low. Maybe this guy here. So there you go, pain suppression. Look at that. Look at the big nice square showing me that this guy's got pain suppression. That's just really good. That's fantastic. And also for the dummies, or I mean, sorry, for the enemies. That one's just got a lot of dots there. For this guy here, I know these two guys are feared because why? Because there's a huge icon on top of them telling me which CC they got. It's not only for fear, it's also for any other CCs they might have. The next one that I want to talk about is it's called Lose Control, which is the way better improved version of the default interface that was implemented in Pandaria. It's gonna show me. Look at the portrait. I have this guy on focus, and I got both. Right, this is the focus target, and this is my target. So I'm gonna cast fear here, and it's gonna tell me that my target and my focus target has fear. Now, if you're playing with a mage, for example, the mage is gonna know exactly when to cast the poly. Just before the fear wears off, that's when he knows he has to cast the poly, and then you can just do an infinite chain of CCs, or not infinite, but a pretty long chain of CCs if you time your cooldowns very well and your CCs. And that's pretty much well, it depends on how good the communication is with your team. That's how you're gonna do it. And that's for that add-on. What else do we have here? We have tell me when right here at the bottom. It's gonna show me all the buffs that I have. Well, not all the buffs. It's just you can just configure whatever buff you want. For example, that evangelism, I have it here. The shield and the debuff with the shield is gonna show up there. Get fear ward. I know that if I just cast fear ward and then it's not there anymore. Either you obviously ward off or I got it. Somebody dispelled that thing from me. So yeah, that's some pretty good ones. It's huge for me because my screen. I don't know if my screen is too big, but I don't have to go from here, keep my ass all the way there. I can just keep my ass right here at the bottom of the screen. I don't even have to look at it. I can just look at it with the corner of my eye, and that's good enough. Yeah, that's for that add-on. There's a couple more add-ons I want to talk about that I can't really remember what it's called. I think it's Doom cooldown pulse or something like that. Look at that. That pain tells me that pain suppression is out of cooldown. Penance is out of cooldown, and that's the. I'm gonna put it in the description at the bottom in the end. So I'm just gonna have to look it up. What's the name of that add-on? I can't remember. The other add-on that's very useful for healing is this guy here. It's called Ice Hot. Ice Hot is fantastic because in my case, obviously I'm not always gonna be targeting myself. So if I didn't have this add-on, I have to go all the way here to see what my health is, or I can just move the portrait. But the portrait, I don't know, it blocks my view. I don't like it, so that's why I'm using this guy as Ice Hot. It has so many options. You can customize that add-on like whatever you like. It has like pretty cool graphics too. You can change it to be like, I don't know. This is a pretty good add-on. It's been out there for a while, but if you don't know it, you can just get it from curse.com or any other place, any other Warcraft add-on websites that you can find. There's tons of them. So yeah, that's the add-on. That's for the add-ons part. Last thing I want to talk about is the new two spells as of Pandaria. Not as of 5.2. 5.2 there were no new spells. It's just the like for Pandaria, which is a Void Shift right here, which is basically gonna, there's no healing involved. It's just gonna swap your life with your partner or your team arena member or teammate or whatever. As long as you guys are in the same party, you're gonna be able to swap lives or health, or which is pretty handy. And the best one, one of the best spells, the new spells for priest is this one here. Is a spirit shell. Now take into account that if you have the 4 pieces spirit shell, it's gonna decrease your the cost of your flash heal by 50%. So think about it, 50% off your flash heal. That is fantastic. You're gonna save so much mana. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some my shield here. Gonna cast a spirit shell. There you go. There you go. Now my spirit shell, my debuff is gone. So I'm gonna put another shield on me right there. 79, and I have right here 240k damage absorption plus the 70 whatever. So it's over 300k damage absorption. Now as of 5.2, spirit shell can no longer be dispelled, which is huge if you are against a rogue and a mage, for example. Because guys, if you don't use this guy here, Spirit Shell, at the beginning or whenever they're just before they're bursting you, you're most likely gonna die, unless your teammates are really good and do a lot of builds to you. You're most likely going to die. Right here. So there you go. It's a pretty cool, short cooldown, 1 minute. For what it does, I think it's fantastic. Yeah, it's just, and your mana doesn't even go down that much because you're only spending 50%. So that's good. I already have 240k damage absorption, so that's fantastic. And this is it. This is the guide. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. And thanks for watching. Bye.